Hello and welcome to One North Maine, BCA's magazine show where we highlight the people, places, and events that make this city, our city, great. We stepped outside Brockton today. We are in downtown Boston for the 2015 Youth Jobs Rally. There's a great Brockton contingent. We have field reporters, Brendan and Sam, telling us what's going on during the march and inside the State House. The Youth Jobs Coalition is on fire, and BCA is here to cover it. So sit back and relax and see what your community, the City of Champions, has to offer.
We're here today to support a cause, and that cause is youth employment. Unfortunately, there are far more job seekers nowadays than there are open jobs. Today it's an opportunity for us to fight for some dollars in the state budget to supplement some of these job losses. So what we do is we fund summer jobs programs and also year-round jobs programs that pay the wages for kids 14 to 21 in gateway communities that are low income, so that they can have a job, a temporary job, but it's a start. You know, it's a development process for a lot of these kids, and we're here today to make sure that this funding doesn't get cut, and also to ask our local elected officials for additional support. So not only is this a chance for you to advocate, it's also a chance for you to learn about the process and all the decisions that go into supporting these programs.
Before we kick it over to our field reporters, Brendan and Sam, we're gonna get fired up. What do we want?
Youth jobs!
When do we want them?
Now!
I can't hear you. What do we want?
Now!
When do we want them?
Now!
Hey guys, Brendan here. I'm here with Sam.
Hi.
And we're on our way right now to Boston to go to the Youth Jobs Coalition rally to help protest for funding for youth jobs in not only Brockton, but all over Massachusetts. So, Sam, tell me why you're so excited to go there today.
Well, I'm not really sure. It's my first time, so I'm really excited. I've never been to one before, so yeah.
And what do you expect to see there today? Do you expect to see a lot of kids or like a small number? What do you think is going to be the outcome?
I mean, there's probably going to be a lot of kids there because, well, a lot of kids need jobs, because I know a lot of people who need jobs, including myself. So, yeah.
Sounds like we're going to have a good day today, so let's get there. So we're on our way right now to the Old South Church to start our first part of the rally.
Excited.
In 2011, we developed relationships with former Governor Deval Patrick, state reps, and senators, because that's how we need to win more money for the budget. Now that brings us to 2012, when we began to focus on the private sector. Thanks to our efforts, we are now able to have tons of new jobs at businesses like Fidelity, plus some investments, who both previously didn't hire young people. In 2013, $19 million was won for the Youth Jobs Funding. That was our biggest win yet, and allowed us more efforts to be taken to supply even more jobs for young people. Last year, we decided to take our organizing work and go deeper. We worked on passing the minimum wage increase to ensure that people had enough money to live. How many people know that the minimum wage went up from $8 to $9 last month? Groups like ours helped win that by collecting some of the 190,000 referendum signatures that led to this being passed. How many know it's going up to $10 next January and $11 in January of 2017? We also focus more on fighting against mass incarceration because there are better preventive solutions that would avoid the need for so many jails. And lastly, we decided to work to bring a deeper meaning of racial justice to our work, especially since we are people of color whose lives definitely matter. And that brings us here today. Without a doubt in my mind, we will do something incredible that will add to our powerful history.
Before I begin, I would just like to make an announcement. So for all people who are standing in the back, by all means fill out the seats that are down here on the lower level, and definitely upstairs as well. Thank you. All right, so with that said, in honor of Black History Month, even though every month is Black History Month, I want to introduce some call and responses to you. Because back in the day when they marched in solidarity, they also sang in solidarity and chanted in solidarity. So I'm going to introduce a couple of popular demands that we've prepared for y'all today. All right, so the first one is pay our future and not our end. Because we want politicians to not just fund our, what am I trying to say? We want politicians to fund our future and not our end. So when I say pay our futures, y'all are going to say not our end. Y'all ready? Pay our future. No! Pay our future. No! Alright, so the next one is, we don't need incarceration. What we need is inspiration. Because the government wants us to be just a statistic and be locked up in prison. We don't want that. So when I say we don't need incarceration, y'all are gonna say what we need is inspiration. Y'all ready? Yeah. We don't need incarceration.
What we need is inspiration.
We don't need incarceration.
What we need is inspiration.
Dang, y'all a bunch of fast learners. I like that. All right, so the next one is real short and simple. Payroll, not parole. Because I'd rather have a job and not have someone of the law hounding me everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? So when I say payroll, y'all say not parole. Payroll.
Not parole.
Payroll.
Not parole.
All right. And last but not least, college and careers, not locking up in fear. Because we want every single young person in this room and outside this room to know that they can better themselves, not only with a job, but with that next step of college education. And not just, again, being a statistic of either being dead or incarcerated. So when I say college and career, y'all say not locked up in fear. College and careers?
Not locked up in fear.
College and careers?
Not locked up in fear.
All right, y'all got that down real quick. So be sure to remember those because I'm going to be bringing them up as we go on throughout today.
My name is Jonathan Correa, and I have a question for you. How many of you have yet to receive your first job? Clap or raise your hand here. Okay. So, I come from a not so favorable economics status. I'm a very social person, and I hang out a lot with my friends, which I'm sure a lot of us do. The money I make from my job allows me to hang out and buy things other than the essential that my parents cover. It alleviates some of the stress my mom carries on her shoulders. Second, the job allows me to experience how to be a leader. I have worked at the Chelsea Collaborative for over 4 years. When I joined ECO, I learned how to organize and so many other things that have allowed me to help youth in the environment, which is something that we're doing today. Now let me tell you a story. So I remember sitting at my kitchen table one night with my mom. We were conversing about life, and we came to talk about my job. She told me how much she is grateful for me for having reached forward and been lucky enough to get a motivating and interesting job. So many important things. She's happy of the fact that there are so many important things that will positively influence me as I become an adult. I remember saying, "Yeah, Mom," and I know that was all that needed to be said. She was happy her son was turning out so well. I encourage those of you who raised your hands or clapped earlier to take the first step in your life. You won't regret it. For every skeptical parent, adult, or politician in the room, those of us on stage and in this room are living examples that anything you would say against these jobs is false. Thank you.
Lift them up with a vision of youth who are productive and contributing, who are hopeful and defiant and resilient, and who will not give up. Show them the promised land, because you are the promised land. Show them your best selves.
United, we'll never be call of the youth don't stop. Say what? Youth united will never be defeated. What? Youth united will never be defeated. Youth need labor. Youth need labor. Don't be a hater. You don't call like the power of the youth, cause the power of the youth don't stop. Say what? You don't call like the power of the youth, cause the youth don't stop. What do we want? Youth jobs. What do we want? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. What do we want? Youth jobs. What do we want? Now. What do we want? Youth jobs. What do we want? Do we want? Youth jobs. Youth jobs. I say what? Do we want? Youth jobs. Youth jobs. I say what? Do we want?
How old are you guys around?
15.
17. Yay, happy birthday! So happy birthday. So I'm speaking to all high school kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Young adults. Don't mean to call you kids, I'm sorry. And so what brings you here today?
Well, our how many we call Kenny? Our director.
Yeah.
He told us he wants to come to a job fair. Job fair. And we all like raised our hands and he was like, it's in Boston. We're like, why don't we get out of Brockton?
Right.
Because we don't like staying in Brockton.
Well, you know what?
There's nothing to do.
Exploring the world is a good thing.
Yeah.
You may decide you want to come back. Maybe someday you do, maybe someday you don't. So I'm glad that you're here today exploring the State House. I've been a state representative, probably some of your state representatives, since January. And I've been a city councilor in Brockton for 9 years. And that is for the northeast side of town. So Brookfield, Ashfield, Lithuanian Village area is where I represent as a city councilor. And then you guys know where the railroad tracks go through the city?
Yeah.
You know the smaller side of the city?
Yeah.
That's on the Ward 6 side? I'm the state representative for that whole area. So if you live over there, I'm your state representative. But I have great relationships with the other two Brockton state representatives. So if you have any problems, even if you don't live in my district, please feel free to contact me. And my name is Michelle Dubois. And so, what brings you here? What is the agenda for today?
Support teen justice.
Yeah.
Support the youth to get us occupations for the youth.
Occupations for you.
Yes.
I think that's very important. So, how many of you plan on going to college? I think it's a good decision. Right. It's very important to continue your education, even if it's through Massasoit, even if you have to take time off, because really the key to success and the key to finding a job is just being persistent. Don't take, you might have to take no for an answer from certain people, but don't take no for an answer when it comes to like what your main objective is. If that's finding a job, finding a career, just keep plugging away, and then I really think that you'll all be successful.
There's a lack of jobs for older, unskilled people, which has taken away the jobs for the young kids who are trying to work and make their way through school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I can see your need for jobs, and it's
and a lot of people, their parents aren't really like financially vast, so to speak. They're not really able to have a lot of expenditures on stuff that we really want.
Yeah.
So a lot of us find that it's really good for us just to be able to support ourselves a little bit, to just go out. Maybe if we want to do something with friends, maybe for like one of people here tried to get school supplies.
Yeah.
Right? But they weren't even really able to do that due to the fact that they wouldn't be able to get a job because the job market's so closed off. It's more towards like the high people, maybe people in college, maybe even people older than that. They don't really look towards people like in high school.
What types of jobs would you like to work? Would you like to be made available to you?
I'll say jobs like retail or like be advisors or associates.
Like working at a camp or something.
I mean, yeah, you could work in a store, you could work at a restaurant.
I'd say any
There's a
type
lot
of
of
accountant.
There's a lot of
You mean an
restaurants.
accountant?
Yeah.
Being an accountant.
Because there's not really very like
Those
you do all
yeah,
your stuff in a
McDonald's,
bank.
Burger King, all these other restaurants. Panera Bread.
I mean,
Yeah.
I say any type of job that builds like the important social skills that teens need to start having, like building that solid foundation. For me, I'm 22, but when I was 15, even when I was 14, I started babysitting. But then when I turned 15, the family kind of hired me as a full-time nanny, so I was working full-time while I was in high school. And I made a lot of money off of that. And I also built a lot of good life skills in me. You know, I was taking care of kids at a young age, so that kind of helped me to understand that I don't want to have kids young. So I feel like jobs like that kind of seriously, that's good. I feel like jobs like that put teens and youth specifically into more adult roles where they can learn like, okay, it's different when you're out and you're doing this and you want to have a family, but when you actually are taking care of kids, you're understanding like, oh, okay, I want to have a family, but I understand now why I can't, because I need to build a certain foundation to actually have that family be built on.
I also think that we need more jobs that are open to like entry level people, because a lot of times they're like, yeah, you can get a job, but you have to have at least 1 to 2 years of experience, and a lot of people don't have that. It's our first jobs. We can't, just come in there and have all the skills needed, because a lot of people don't have them. Just a lot of the kids applying are like 15, 14, 16, and they don't. Maybe it's their first jobs, and if you're saying they need experience, how will they get experience if you don't hire them?
True.
How many of you have applied for jobs?
I've been applying since last year.
Really?
Now we're gonna go elevator.
Kenny, you owe me one.
I'll give you the lay of the land on this, okay? So we have to be very respectful. Now, the only time that a person can come down in the well here, or this area, is either if you're a state representative or if you're a constitutional officer, which would be like the governor, lieutenant governor, treasurer, or the auditor. But if you are with a representative, we can bring you down here. Now, see this middle aisle here? Here's a very interesting tidbit. The only people that can walk down that aisle are the same. So the governor, if he's coming in for his inauguration, or the state treasurer, the auditor, they can, or the reps, but no regular individual can. So when John F. Kennedy was inaugurated, he was elected as president, and he was the president-elect of the United States. He came and he addressed the House from this podium right here, and you'll see his words there. But even then, as president-elect, he couldn't walk down the center aisle. He had to come in around the side. So you're in a very special spot here. Please, if you want to know how a person votes, now those are not lit up right now, but the representatives' names are listed right up there. And you see the little color, there's a red and green?
Yeah.
So you vote from your seat, you push a button. Green is yay and red is nay. If you look over in that door in the corner, there's a secret door there, and that's for the Speaker of the House. When he comes in from his office, he comes in the secret door and doesn't walk through the hall where the public is. My lucky day.
Oh, we're glad we got to come here.
And if you ever need anything, you can give me a call. My name is Claire Cronin, and you can look me up online there, and that's what we're here for. So if any of of our students in Brockton need any help or anything, we're the people you call. Rep. Brady, Senator Kennedy, and now Representative Dubois as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. So great to see you.
Well, there you have it, Brockton. Another One North Main in the books. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the Youth Jobs Rally. To learn more about Brockton Community Access, please visit our website at bcatv.org. You can also check out our YouTube page, youtube.com/the Brockton Channels. All one word. For everyone at One North Main, including Brendan, Sam, and producer extraordinaire Aaron Tebow, I'm Jay Miller. We'll see you around town. I'm Jay Miller. We'll see you around town. 1, 2, 3. I'm Jay Miller. We'll see you around town. 1, 2, 3.